there! Today I'm going to show you how to make my gluten-free and dairy-free shepherd's pie. It's so good. Alright, let's get started. Welcome to MamaShire. Okay, we're going to start by bringing 3 quarts of water to a boil in a medium to large pot. Then we're going to peel the potatoes. We're going to have 2 pounds of potatoes here. We're going to peel them and then cube them. And then once that water is boiling, you're going to put these potatoes right in there. And set the timer for 15 minutes for those potatoes to boil. Okay, now we're going to start with the base of the shepherd's pie. We're going to start by dicing up an onion. Now, if you already know how to dice onions, you don't have to watch this part, but just in case, I wanted to show you an easy way. You're going to cut it directly in half from end to end, and then you slice off just one end, and that is a part that would grow long, be growing up. So you're leaving the root side intact. You're going to take a sharp knife and just make vertical cuts, and then you're going to take that knife and then you're going to make horizontal cuts. Just always keep an eye on your knife and where your fingers are. And then once you have the vertical and horizontal slices, then you can just go straight down and you can get lots of nice evenly diced little pieces of onion. And then just do the other side. Now once your onion is all diced up, then just put it off to the side. If you have one of these little scrapers, it really does make it easy. Okay, next we're going to be frying up 2 pounds of ground beef. Get that started in your skillet and just chop it while it's frying. Once it's mostly brown, you can still have a little bit of pink in it. That's when we're going to add that onion back in. And then we're just going to let that onion cook with the ground beef for about 5 more minutes. Just letting the onion cook and get a little bit translucent, and you'll be able to tell when it's ready. It does change colors. So just stir all that around and just let it keep cooking. Add in some salt and pepper. And now you get to start adding some more ingredients. We're going to put in 2 cups of frozen peas and carrots. Now if you don't have peas and carrots, because my store doesn't always have them, you can get a bag of mixed vegetables and just put in 2 cups of that. So stir this all around, just kind of keep combining it, and then we're going to start adding in some of the spices. We're going to start with some thyme, and then add in some bay leaves. Next is some Worcestershire sauce, and then we're going to put in some tomato paste. The next ingredient is beef broth. The recipe calls for 2 cups. What we're going to do here is add in 1.5 cups because we saved the 1/2 cup to mix in with some cornstarch. So we've just added the cornstarch to the 1/2 cup of beef broth. Then just whisk that around and you're just making like a little bit of a slurry. We're going to add this to the mixture, and this is going to help kind of thicken up the juices and just kind of turn it into a nice gravy. We're just going to stir that around and let that simmer while we hop over to make the mashed potatoes. So an easy way is to use a colander to pour the potatoes into the colander to strain off all the water. Then you can take those potatoes, add them back to the pot, and we're going to stir in the Smart Balance, or you can use Earth Balance, and salt and pepper, and nutritional yeast. Now if you've not used nutritional yeast before, it's a really good ingredient to add, especially if you are dairy free, because it gives foods a little bit of a cheesy taste, and it just kind of deepens the overall flavor. So I'm using a hand mixer to mix my potatoes. You could use a potato masher if you want, or even a ricer. But I find this is just a really easy way to do it with a hand mixer. Then once it's mostly mixed, Then you add in the almond milk and an egg. And then just get that all combined and use a spatula to just scrape down the sides. And just keep combining it until all the potato is mashed. And it's just going to be nice and fluffy. Okay, so while we were doing the potatoes, we let this beef mixture just kind of simmer and thicken up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take out my bay leaves. I know they weren't in there very long, but I just feel better about getting it out before I cover the whole thing up with the potatoes. So then we're just going to dollop the mashed potatoes onto the beef mixture. Now if you just kind of spread these out, this is going to make it easier when you completely spread it around. And it just looks so good. Those potatoes and that meat, it smells so good already. Now, just take a spatula and spread those potatoes out all the way to the edge. Now, I'm using a 3-quart Dutch oven, and it was pretty full. If you wanted to use like a 9x13 casserole dish, you could put the beef mixture in first and then spread your potatoes on top, and you have a little bit more room. This, you can see this was pretty full. Okay, so once it's all spread out, put it in a 350-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. And there, look at all that goodness. It gets all nice and brown and it just smells delicious. Now I'm serving mine as soon as it came out of the oven. You can see all the steam coming out. Now the gravy is a little bit runny, but if you let this sit for about 10 or 15 minutes, it'll thicken up even more. But if you don't want to wait, it's still absolutely delicious. I've also included below in the description a link for the printable recipe for this. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a great day.